Welcome once again. It's Relationships at Work, a leadership podcast helping you build workplace connection, improve culture, and avoid blind spots. I'm Russel Lolacher, your communications and leadership expert. Happy to be here once again to fill our curiosity. This is Thursday, so it must mean time for our solo episodes. That's right. These are mini episodes, just me talking. They're just quick, valuable bits of information, usually under about 10 minutes, to help our mindsets for the weeks ahead. This one, it's about communication, but an interesting type of communication. This is about speaking to our results because few others will. Now, we've all heard this at one point. I know I've certainly heard it through my career. Let your results speak for themselves. Sounds like a bumper sticker or a t-shirt. But do those results really speak for themselves? Or is that just wishful thinking? I mean, in theory, it sounds great. But in my experience, and experience of many others I know, it rarely works that way because it assumes things. It assumes that people are actually listening. And it assumes not only that people are listening, but the right people are listening. The ones who understand and value our work and could possibly provide new opportunities, new direction. It's an interesting thing. Some argue, and I've seen this posted, I literally have copy and pasted this from somebody I saw on LinkedIn. They said, communicating and promoting our great results, if we have to do that continuously, we should question whether we're on the right team or in the right company. I agree to that. To a point. People are busy. They might be the right people. They might want to even listen, but they don't and they can't because they're busy too. I just don't find this realistic. The reality is results do not speak for themselves. They need a voice. Ours. If we don't frame our work in a way that leadership understands, we risk being overlooked. We risk feeling undervalued, especially in an organization where communication needs to be tailored and stories need to be framed in ways that resonate with diverse leadership, right? Not everybody hears and understands in the same way. Yes, you, me, everyone, we're paid for outcomes. But more often than not, we also have to be our own advocates, particularly with those who may not fully grasp the value of what we do. Not everybody understands the work that we may or may not do. Many decision makers are too far removed from the day-to-day impact of work, our work, others' work, and controlling what we can means telling our own story. So if we're talking about our great results, we need to be great communicators, and we need to do it in a way that resonates with them. I've known people doing innovative, forward-thinking work that was outside the scope of their executive's experience. But because their leadership had a narrow understanding of its impact, they often just took it for granted. Oh, that's just what they do, right? It's just part of their work. It's almost dismissive sometimes. And I get that senior leaders are focused more on the high level strategy, and that's where they should be. They need to be seeing the bigger picture. But when they don't see the value of those working for them, it can be frustrating for those that are putting in the good work. So as leaders, we need to be advocates for ourselves. We need to be great communicators on behalf of ourselves. So here's a question I want to ask you. If results alone won't do the talking, how do we communicate our impact in a way that gets leadership's attention? I have some suggestions on that. First, align it with your leadership priorities. I had a conversation with someone the other day where they were trying to understand how that they should be heard or listened to in the work that they did. And I'm like, care about what your leadership cares about. If they're talking about X, then your work supports X, or you find any particular eensy-beensy way that you align with X. If you want to be noticed, we have to understand that it's not about us. We have to focus on results that directly impact business goals, key metrics, organizational priorities, and then use the language of leadership. If they frame it in a particular way, you use those words, those exact words. Even if you don't feel like it completely necessarily fits, doesn't matter. Use the words. Frame your results in terms of things like, revenue, cost savings, employee engagement, retention, risk reduction, efficiency, satisfaction. Any one of those corporate-y sounding words, glom onto them if that's what the executives are using in order to speak their language. Second, use data, but tell a story. Metrics matter. They absolutely matter. Data matters. You need to present some hard numbers, but don't just dump data. Context matters. Framing matters. Connect it to a narrative. Like, by doing this, we helped that, which led to benefiting the organization in this way. And make sure you answer, why should leadership care? But then tie the numbers to it. Another thing that really helps with this kind of communication is being concise and being clear. Clear is kind, remember? Get to the point quickly. I remember doing a review of someone's presentation, and it was an interesting topic, and it had 117 slides in it. And they were presenting this as a representative of the organization to leadership. And I'm like, I care about your topic, and I fell asleep in the fourth slide. The thing is, they were trying to answer any question anybody could ever have, ever. Those you're trying to get attention of, the leadership you're trying to get the attention of your own leadership, they're busy people. The quicker, the more succinct you can be, the better. They'll actually respect you more for doing so and respecting their time and everybody else's time in the room. Because they're probably working on other things, multiple things at the same time. So don't bury the lead. Make sure your communication starts with the bottom line to get their attention. Another thing, use the right medium. What is the right medium to tell your story, to tell the work that you do? Is it one-on-one meetings? Is it an email summary? Is it a presentation to a board? Is it a report? Is it a dashboard? Is it a team meeting, a town hall? The medium matters, and it's all about how they prefer to be communicated to, not how you prefer, not how your strengths are. How do they want to hear from you? Ask them. And last, well, actually almost last, I got two more. Improve your presence. Want people to pay attention? Be in their eye line. Where are they paying attention to? Where are they already? Go there. Don't try to get them to come to you. Don't try to get them to come to your meetings. Don't try to get them to read your emails. Get into their leadership meetings. They already have them. They're already scheduled. Get on the agendas. Share your wins there. Maybe it's in company newsletters, a Slack channel, internal blogs. See the ecosystem of communication within your organization and get into those conversations rather than just creating a platform where you have to get their attention. They're already spending a lot of time doing many different things. See where they already are. And last, figure out what the next step is. This is not a one and done exercise when it comes to communicating your worth and your work. Make sure it's not a one and done success story. Link your results to what you're doing next. This is a journey, not a checkbox exercise, right? We've talked about this a lot on the podcast. We did this, so to further that success, we're doing that, or we recommend we take steps in doing this. You are part of a journey with them to make the organization better, and your work is a key part of that success. Tell that story. Hard work does not guarantee recognition. It does not guarantee support. It does not guarantee that people will even care about what you do. So results do not speak for themselves. That's our job as leaders, for ourselves and for our teams. Smart, good, valuable, impactful communication can get us that recognition, that support, that understanding that we need, we crave to help us and help our teams. We have to give our good work a voice. Because if we don't tell our own story, who will? And people will. If there's some other great leaders, they will say great things about your work as well, but you can't rely on them. They're great ambassadors, they're great champions, but you need to be one for you and your team as well. I'm going to leave it there. I always get a little passionate when it's about communication, especially when it's about advocating for ourselves, because I know so many people who are doing amazing things and are just so frustrated and feeling undervalued because they don't know how to speak for themselves and they don't have leadership around there that speak on their behalf. And it breaks my heart. So anyone that's looking for that sort of advocacy and support and understanding, if this helps, I'm thrilled. That'll do it for another episode of Relationships at Work, another mini episode. This is the Leadership Podcast that helps you build workplace connection, improve culture, and avoid blind spots, and hopefully help you advocate for yourself a little bit. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you on Monday with our next guest. Take care.